Hi, I'm Phoebe, and I'm Barbie. Yes, I am very beautiful. My appearance can be said to be perfect. I have a good figure, everything is fine. Blue eyes, waist-length hair, straight legs, waist. But I am alone. Imagine, I was useless to anyone just after I made myself a beauty. Now I will tell you about everything in order, and while you put the like, subscribe to our channel, and describe your opinion in the comments. I wasn't always like this. I was born and raised in New York with my little sister Millie in this huge city where a lot of money is spinning. There are a lot of people, buildings, and cars here. If you come here for the first time, you may become unaccustomed to bad. But this is the first sign of adaptation. But here I was soaked in the New York air and always believed in my abilities, like a true citizen. I don't know if it was the city that affected me or if I was born that way, but I've always wanted to experiment. As a child, I made my dolls makeup, cut their hair, and changed their places between other dolls, plaited braids, made clothes myself, and selected looks. It was more interesting for me to play this way. Then, when I was older, I got to my room. I changed everything, even rearranged the furniture. I liked something new and quickly got tired of the old. My parents called me All. You know why. So one day, after another rearrangement, I sat down in my room and realized that I was already tired of everything. Suddenly, I saw myself in the mirror and realized something. Despite the fact that I was from a well-off family, lived in the US Capitol, did not deny myself anything. I was missing something. No, I had girlfriends, a boyfriend, but the feeling that I had a huge gap in my life did not leave me alone. By the way, my boyfriend Stan always said that I was the best, but how could he know? I'm his first girlfriend, and he's my first boyfriend. We had been dating for a year, and our relationship was also starting to strain me. Everything had become so boring. Always the same dating stories, movies, parks, cafes, parties, school, movies, parks, schools, and so on. I was getting sick of it all. I wanted to take a sip of something new. So, at the moment when I looked at myself in the mirror, the idea crept into my head to make changes in my appearance. At the time, I had brown eyes, dark brown shoulder-length hair, was a little overweight, and wore pants most of the time. Suddenly, I remembered what my transformation dolls looked like, and the idea, why not, came to mind. Of course, I didn't tell anyone about this. The next day, I just signed up for a hair salon where I grew my hair to the waist, dyed it blonde, got a manicure, bought blue eye lenses, and also decided to change the style of clothing and bought more dresses, skirts, and heels. It took me almost all day. When I got home, my family was just freaking out from the transformation, but I got compliments. My mother said it made me more feminine. Yes, I liked my transformation, but something was still missing. I sat on the internet all night, flipping through the pages of fashion bloggers, models, and it dawned on me. I still have to lose weight. Immediately, I found a diet. It was difficult, but the main goal was to lose weight quickly. The next day, I woke up, drank a glass of water, and went to school in a new image. Stan's mouth dropped open at the sight of me. Surprised, but he said it looked good on me. I also began to pay attention to the reactions of others and caught glances at myself. It was nice. Never mind, I'm going to lose weight and it's going to be a bomb, I thought to myself. To be honest, the first day only on the water was very difficult, but I read that it is difficult only for the first time. So, gritting my teeth, I endured hunger. In the evening, for dinner, I allowed myself to eat boiled rice, cucumber, and again, washed down everything with water. The next day, I ate some buckwheat and an apple, so I lasted almost 2 weeks at this rate. I had almost no strength, but the result was great. I lost 5 kilograms. I was still 5 minutes away from my goal, but my stomach started to ache and I almost died from the pain. When my mother took me to the hospital, I had to confess everything, of course. I got hit in the head by my mother for such a stupid diet, and I had to eat as the doctor said. I gained 2 kilograms again and was upset. But then I came across some miracle weight loss pills on the internet. They were not cheap, but you had to pay for beauty, so I bought them and started drinking. So I began to lose weight and reached the goal in a week. Yeah! I became slim and ate everything at the same time. I began to look in the mirror more often, taking selfies more often, and posted them on social networks. Stan, by the way, also changed, but not in appearance. He started blowing me off. Supposedly, I had become obsessed with my appearance. But I wasn't. I just wanted to achieve my goal. The next step was lip augmentation. Oh, it was a terrible procedure. I was in a lot of pain. Of course, I didn't tell my family anything. I just went and did it. My mother was shocked, and she started lecturing me that the main thing is to be beautiful from the inside. But I did not take that nonsense. Ask what Stan said. He behaved worse than my mother. He began to whine to me there something about, "You were better before, what's going on with you?" My friend said the same thing, but I knew it was envy. All the criticism said that I was close to perfection. After the lips, I did blepharoplasty of the eyes. I wanted my eyelids to get even bigger, like a doll's. I will tell you, it was also not a very pleasant procedure. After the operation, my eyelids were swollen. I felt as if a car had passed over my eyes. But the sacrifices were worth it. My parents did not say anything about it. I told them that my ideas had to be transformed into reality. Otherwise, I would throw a tantrum. I said the same thing to my boyfriend, but by this time, he was behaving disgustingly. How could he even behave like this when he had someone like me next to him? Almost the ideal of beauty. I felt like I was at 90%, but I was only 10% short of the ideal. Just a little bit, and I would become a real Barbie. Just a little bit more, and I would be invited to fashion shows. I will build a career as a model. I will visit many countries. I will have a lot of fans, and my photo will be on all the covers of magazines. Oh yes, that's what I've been missing all these years. Perfection. The next stage was the nose and cheekbones. Yeah, I did the operation and nah. Oh, they weren't cheap, but I managed to persuade my parents. I said I would be happy. That was the argument. Perhaps they felt guilty. It sounds strange, but in all cases, our social status, the city where I live, I should have been born a beauty right away. But my genetics failed. I was born to look like my grandfather on my father's side. Well, you know where grandfather is and where Barbie is. After the operation, my face was completely unrecognizable. I really became like a living doll. Beautiful, slim, fit, and super glamorous. And you know what Stan said? You're not what you were before. What is this nonsense? Well, of course I'm not the one. I didn't want to stay the one. For this, I spent a lot of time and money. I got angry and chased him away. I said I didn't need a guy who wasn't ready to sing about my beauty. He left. I wasn't even sad. Just think, 2 years of a relationship in the trash. I'll have 100 like him ready to fall at my feet for my smile. And when more time passed, I was unstoppable. I was constantly coming up with new amendments to the body. I was thinking of what else I could remove, tighten, inflate. Eventually, my appearance became like an inanimate mannequin, and people started to avoid me. No photos, model careers, other countries, subscribers on Instagram. I had nothing left. I had lost more than I had gained. I don't even remember when I realized it, but it was too late. My face looked so dirty. There was nothing left of my old body. I had overdone it with a tan, a Hollywood smile, eyelash extensions, nails, and outfits. But the saddest thing is that I had no one left. I turned away all my friends. My boyfriend, who I dated for 2 years, he liked it without plaster, the way I was without makeup, full and in my pants. And my parents, what about them? I started blackmailing them. I directly demanded money in hysterics. Poor mother's heart. It was torn by what her eyes saw, but she couldn't help it. I felt ashamed. It would be my anniversary night with Stan. I was reviewing photos and crying in my room. A friend came to see me. For the first time in a year, we had a heart-to-heart conversation, and she listened to me. I think I messed up, I told her. My mother reassured me. reminded me that I was still dear to my family, that I was a treasure for them, and that they always needed me. It lifted my spirits, and then my mother and I decided what we could do about me. First, my mother washed my face, erased all the flashy makeup, filed my long nails, cut off my eyelashes a little, braided my hair, and I put on my pants. So I began to look more like a person. I went to Stan's house that night. It turns out that he was also thinking about me. As soon as I saw him, my eyes filled with tears. I asked for forgiveness and we sat down to talk. I don't know how many hours passed, but I felt good with him, like before. I realized the most important thing is that everything should be in moderation, and that you cannot lose the inner beauty, as my mother says.